let's get this show on the road. We got things to do anyway for that. Are you also streaming amateur, or you just want me to do it? Alright. Yeah, no, for sure. Alright. Welcome to our first ever, I guess, after the league session of discussions. We might call it Afterwatch. I'm not sure. We'll get to that later. Anyway, we have a bunch of casters here today who have been watching the games, and we just got some questions for each side. First off, for the red division, those who were on the Twitch side, which teams impressed you the most? Which team out of most of them impressed you the most?
Well, for me, I think it was Goliath that really stood out the most. I mean, I've seen a lot of those players on teams in the past, and definitely, not surprised to see them performing at the high caliber that they are. But they definitely, they put up a very strong performance against MSBH, and managed to come out on top there. And something that I predicted to be a 2-0 the other way. So,
Really?
they definitely surprised me there with their performance, and I don't even think MSB necessarily played that badly. I just think Elias played really well.
I would have to agree. Being part of this MSBH, it was quite the difficult battle. I got really excited when we full held them, but then they held us harder, so that was interesting. What about you, Walnut? What do you think?
Personally, my three teams are Vanquish, HCB,
I don't think one was able to speak
and once again Goliath. Goliath because I thought that once again with gold, I thought they were gonna be like, oh, they're gonna get swept off. Oh, it's gonna be a breeze, but they held off MSB, and I'm not really surprised. Vanquish because they're really strong.
Wait, unless Walnut has me muted, my bad.
Hey, guys. Make sure we have each other not muted, because that's going to make having a conversation very difficult if you have each other muted.
Anyway, continue on and try to pick one over the others, like that you thought stand out the most between Vanquish, Goliath, and whichever one you were talking about.
For me, if I had to pick one team, it probably would be Goliath, because MSBH was looked at as like the one that would win over the division, but then they overtook them, so it's like now it's like Goliath has like now more of like a status of, wow, they actually are really scary because
they kind of stepped up to the plate and really showed what they had to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can agree with that. Same question for most impressive teams for the blue division though. What did you guys think?
Personally for me, the team that surprised me the most was Team Lunas Pumas coming into this league with a GM. What the hell were you thinking? Nah, just kidding. For me, it was definitely Hanamura Ninjas versus Attack Extreme. Hanamura Ninjas, they just like came back and looked like, oh, these guys are gonna get rolled, and then they just come back and completely reverse sweep it and just take out the win. So they surprised me a lot.
Yeah, I hate to.
You had that reverse because it was tactics.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I have to the other way around. My bad. Take what I said, reverse it. There you go.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Tac Extreme. It looked like after they got steamrolled on Dorado, they composed themselves, made some comp changes, and had a really hard-fought battle on Hanamura. That one could have gone either way, but then Lijiang Tower, by then they had just completely asserted themselves and took that third match to take the victory.
Oh, yeah.
For me personally, the team that impressed me was Team Nobody. Yeah, they lost, but it was just that one play that I saw from them where they brought in the Bastion, the Mei, the Orisa, and they used the Mei wall to get the Bastion and the Orisa up on that windshield to just take the first point very quickly. I was impressed by that. I hope we have a clip of that somewhere and able to post it, because that was an amazing play by that team.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
That's some crazy plays. Next question: who are some players that stand out to you? You can say one or two, or whatever you feel like. For Back to the Red Division.
So I mentioned earlier, I think I really enjoyed seeing Bonzo on Goliath. One of the reasons they stood out to me as a team was they ran the May on both maps actually that they played, and having cast Overwatch for over a year now, I think I can actually count on both of my hands the number of times I've seen May played in a league setting. So it's really nice to see May play more. The other person that I put aside as a strong DPS hero or character was what was his name from this Team Isolation, Gold Batman. Even though Isolation had a very tough time today, Gold Batman played very well on the Junkrat and on a couple of other characters throughout, and did everything he could really to keep his team in the fight throughout the game. So I think Gold Batman stood out to me a lot.
That's pretty cool. What about you on that?
Personally, I think I really do have to agree with Gold, and I really do have to say that Bonzo is like a really interesting player in the league, and he kind of reminds me of gamer Jackie Chan, where yes, he's not like a main, but like he gets to the extent where like his May's really strong, and it might just because of like his team also knowing how to play May, but he knows like he really can outshine everyone.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. No big fat mechs for the Red Division, eh? Well, I guess we're gonna move on to the Blue Division. What kind of players stood out to you guys in the Blue?
The one player that stood out to me from the start was Rikichan. He was a really good McCree. His accuracy, his self-awareness. Whenever the Tracer was coming around to flank him, when I was spectating him that one time, it was on Hanamuri. The Tracer was coming up from behind the stairwell on the spawn for the left side, and Rikichan's self-awareness with like him hearing the footsteps from the Tracer, he turned left, saw the Tracer, flash banged the Tracer, and headshotted her. It was incredible.
Yeah, definitely. Reika-chan just absolutely insane. Some insane high noons. His positioning for his high noons was amazing. He just pretty much just always went for the enemy team's pharmacy and then ended up getting a quad kill or whatever his team really needed. Also, as well, on the side of Thunderbirds, Locked Up for Life. Just his Tracer was absolutely amazing in that match there. He was getting so many picks. And he just really dominated. I was really impressed by him.
Yeah, Rikichan, he's getting mentioned a lot. Seems like he was always in the kill feed. He had great positioning on McCree, but also great timing. There was one of his high noons where he was just standing in the middle of the street, but it was perfect timing. I think that's the time he got the quad kill, but it was after he killed that Tracer. It ended up being a quintuple. But I just want to mention Neo the Cyber on TAC Extreme. We were giving him a hard time early on his Diva play, but he switched over to Roadhog and had one of the most interesting plays that I at least saw in my spectator view. He whole hogged into a Primal Raging Winston and just pinned him up into the corner of the ceiling on point A of Hanamura and totally zoned that Primal out of that fight. And as soon as the fight was over, he let the Winston fall down to the ground and they took him out. So that was a fun play to watch.
That's pretty awesome there. Back to the Red Division. What was your best matchup, you think? The best matchup for the day? Like team versus team wise.
You know, I think the one that I enjoyed watching the most was probably actually the first one, the MSBH versus Goliath match, because I think those two teams, your two teams, were pretty well matched, and it was a very close match throughout the entire thing. Like I don't think it was overwhelmingly one way or the other. I also really did enjoy watching Saints versus Night Howlers, and I think if I had to pick another team that stood out to me, it would be Night Howlers. That's a team that I'm going to be looking forward to watching going forward.
How about you, Walnut?
I definitely agree with the Goliath, and also I really do see potential in Saints and Night Howlers. They're kind of like at it between each other. Yeah, they still got 2-0'd, but I feel like they still both have a lot of potential to win the league, really.
Yeah, no, does sound like a really interesting match. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one. What about the blue division? Best match, team versus team. What do you guys think?
For me personally, my favorite match. Oh, sorry. Do you want to go first?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
For me personally, my favorite match was against Hanamura Ninjas and TAC Extreme, with TAC being able to bring it back from that role on the first map. What was it? What was the first map that we played? That they played.
Dorado.
Dorado, yeah. They did get a little bit rolled on Dorado, but then TAC Extreme just being able to bring it back and with the reverse sweep. So that was my favorite match of the day.
And next, anyone else have any insight on the blue division?
Yeah, I would say because for me it's the same. It was definitely Attack Extreme versus Hanamura Ninjas. Just every other match was kind of, kind of CF Red versus Team Nobody. Kind of like the way I expected it to go. Then we had Apex versus Thunderbirds. Again, it was a great match, but again, it was like pretty obvious game. But Hanamura versus Ninjas versus Attack Extreme. It was just like, oh yeah, this team's completely dominating. And then you're like, whoa, never mind, this team's completely dominating. And then they just Attack Extreme just came back for the win, and it was really exciting game to watch.
Yeah, I feel the same way. They can't really say anything different about it. Attack Extreme kind of got rolled on the first point, but they turned it into a rather competitive match. A lot of the others, once the momentum started to build, you kind of knew where it was going to go. But Attack Extreme surprised a lot of us.
Yeah, no, they're quite the team to watch out for, that's for sure. And then
I
finally,
just realized that no one
ahead.
even saw it. Yeah.
No one even saw the.
That's a shame too. Yeah, because it was when the stream was off.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's too
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's too bad. Well then.
A lot of people are commenting saying they want the full match to be uploaded so they can watch it.
That might be difficult. But yeah, and finally, back to the Red Division, personal favorite player. Now, this doesn't have to be the one that shined the most value-wise. It could be like, you guys said you like Bonzo a lot really today. You could say, oh, Bonzo did well, but your favorite player is like, I don't know, Big Fat Mex or something like that. Yeah. Any players that you're like really enjoy watching?
You're trying.
I'm trying to shamelessly plug right now, and it's not working. But yeah, yeah. Any thoughts on favorite players?
I'm gonna go with Bonzo if I had to pick a favorite, just because of that May play. I loved it.
Walnut. Any insight?
For me, I would have to say either. I would say Shadowcat because I feel like she really did impress me in her support play, and I feel like most of the time it's like supports never really get to be seen as like good, but
you Mercy Main's gotta stick together. Yeah. No, yeah, Shadowcat's been around for a while and she does pretty well. Blue Division, same question. Favorite player? Question mark for your side.
Well, I have a feeling a lot of us are gonna have to say Reika-chan, so I'm gonna throw back to someone else who I thought did just as well, but in a different way. Crispy Flicks on the side of Thunderbirds. He was on Tracer mostly, and in that match against Thunderbirds, especially on Hanamura, he was just able to get the picks that just mattered the most at the same time. Like when they were pushing, they were attacking onto second point. And then Apex, they only had a May and a Soldier. So in goes Crispy Flicks, gets the pulse bomb onto Soldier, and all of a sudden they don't have a DPS, and then it's just a steamroll from there. And so yeah, he was definitely one of my favorite players. Now someone can tell you about Reika-chan.
Other thoughts, Blue Division?
Well, I'll skip Reika-chan. He's gotten enough praise this time around, but so I'll throw the bone over to Milkman. Whether he was on Fair or Junkrat, it seemed like he started off every team fight with a double kill really impressive stuff, consistent damage output, and just gave his team a leg up in those engagements.
No, yeah, that was. I mean, I feel like I should have watched more of the what was going on that day, but I had plans, which is interesting. But yeah. So overall, what did you guys think? And this is just for general of the first day of the league, just as like a bonus question
I say it
or
was
expectations.
It was a good day, or at least for the blue division of the side. It was interesting to see some of the teams come back from the steamroll like the first game, and it is a shame that you guys weren't able to watch that live. But hopefully we're gonna be uploading the VOD on, I'm assuming, AJ's YouTube channel, so you guys watch that match because it was good to see that. There was an issue with our third match with Turnback and Luna Pumas, and hopefully that will get resolved. And hopefully in the future we won't have those issues for the rest of the duration of the season.
Yeah, sure. Any other final thoughts on the day?
I personally thought of it as like coming from somebody who's been playing in quote unquote the top players with, like, let's say, I would usually the best, or like the best of the best. Coming down to see this, it's really interesting to see like the Diamond and Master games, because you get to see more creative comps, and usually you never really see those creative comps or strategies in the GM League.
They mostly stick to the meta and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I can definitely agree there.
Say, rest in peace that tire on Turnback versus
I can tell you're hung up on it. I am too, and I'm gonna fall asleep listening to that diesel fuel pounding in my ears. There's a couple long minutes there of him just gasping for air.
Oh, was there a pause with that? Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Paused it right on the tire.
Dang, you need to work on our
That sounds
pauses,
like a
Mr.
great
M.
I just want to apologize now, as well as for the that missed pause during one of the matches. My controller fell off the table as I was taking notes on the team. I just really want to apologize for that.
Are you good?
It happens.
But anyway, that's basically our session for wrapping this up. Thank you guys for casting today, and we shall definitely hold more of these in the future. Thank you, YouTube, for watching, or Twitch, or wherever we're uploading this.
Bye, everyone.
See y'all next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, see you, Born. Good casting with you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, you too. See ya.
Alright, see ya.
No one wanted to say, oh, you know what, Max, they didn't win, but they did good. Or he did good. I probably won't be playing next week.
Next, I didn't say anything about your team, because I was about to talk trash about how you guys have been performing
let
today.
us have it. Let me have the harsh criticism. I know we our comms could have been better. Our coordination could have been better. There was a lot we need to work on.
Well, first of all, why the hell did you have me muted?
I didn't know that. I didn't
Wow.
know that.
What do you mean?
It was from the
it
last
is.
party, and it was something. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
Wait, so what were you trying to say?
I'm going to go back to watch My Hero Academia, so I'll catch you guys later.